Well, first things first, it looks as though the James Harper deal isn't quite as far down the line as we first hoped. Reports overnight suggesting that the clubs had come to an agreement on a fee to appear wide of the mark. We're still optimistic that a deal can be struck before the deadline closes at 5 o'clock on Monday night, but the clubs do need to agree a fee. We understand that it's probably going to be in the region of £3.5 to £4 million, which for a player who will be 29 at some point this year seems quite a lot as well. He's only got a couple of years of Premier League experience under his belt as well from his time with Reading, although he's the kind of player Gareth Southgate is looking for, a combative midfielder who's going to put in a good shift every week. So there's time to get the job done, but Southgate will be worried that he loses out in the way that he lost out to Ben Watson, the Crystal Palace midfielder who chose Wigan ahead of Boro. Of course, it's a massive weekend. I think that's no overstatement of the facts. Blackburn at home, and Boro have now gone 11 without a win in the Premier League. They've picked up just 4 points from that sequence of games. That's 33 possible points available, just 4 points added to the total, which has seen the club plunge down the table since those heady nights at winning at Aston Villa in November. Really looking at Southgate's options, he's obviously going to be tempted to give Marlon King a start. He's likely to partner Afonso Alves up front. He needs goals. Boro have really got an appalling total at the moment in terms of goals scored, including just 1 in the last 6 Premier League games, and that's the reason why they're down where they are. They were the lowest scoring side in the Premier League, and Boro have to remedy that fact if they're going to climb the table. Again, also clean sheets have been hard to come by. Not many of those being of late. And when you're not scoring goals and not keeping clean sheets, the answer is, I'm afraid, inevitable that you're going to lose matches. Looking at his options, as I've said, probably Marlon King and Alves Afonso up front. In midfield, things are very thin on the ground with Digard and O'Neill suspended. That means probably Matthew Bates is going to get another run out in midfield, and he's impressed there so far since stepping up to the challenge of playing in an unfamiliar position for him. Sharkey perhaps will also play. There are not too many other options. It'd be interesting to see what he does with Tunjai, who has been a little bit out of sorts of late. He probably hasn't played that well since since going into December, when word of a potential move to Chelsea emerged, and perhaps he's had his head turned a little bit by thoughts of playing for the London club. And it certainly has been the player we saw early in the season when he really was playing some fantastic football for Boro and looked a really shrewd signing by Boro. On the left, of course, Downing will be hoping to continue his good form. He's shown a terrific attitude despite putting in a transfer request, and I think it's obvious that he wants to get Boro out of this current mess, whatever his long-term ambitions are. At the back, Hoyt will probably be available, and that gives Southgate the option of either starting with him or McMahon, who hasn't disgraced himself while filling in. And Pogatic, of course, came back into the side at Chelsea, and his presence was much needed as well. So overall, optimistic. We have to be optimistic, really. It's a match that Boro simply have to win. We outlined a few weeks ago, going into the January fixture list, that Boro needed to pick up points against the likes of the teams around them, like Blackburn Rovers. They singly haven't done that. They drew with Sunderland, of course, lost to West Brom. So a great opportunity to put some points on the board has been squandered so far, and that's why it's really win or bust tomorrow, because if they go into February in the position they're currently in and still not beating the teams around them, then things don't look optimistic as far as the relegation fight goes. But let's be positive. Blackburn aren't out of it yet. They've had a good run under Sam Allardyce. They've climbed out of the bottom 3, but they're only a point ahead of Boro. And if Boro can win tomorrow, they'll push Blackburn back in the bottom 3 and perhaps arrest their improved form and give themselves a huge shot in the arm at the same time.